Hello everyone, welcome to Jigsaw, episode 8. At Jigsaw, we talk about the unseen of geopolitics. Today, me, Avi, a member of Team Jigsaw, will be asking such questions to Sniper on what we are all thinking about, what is really happening, especially the fine print of events. And I'm glad that you're here, so let's get started. Welcome, Sniper.
Thank you. How are you?
I'm good, going good. So we are seeing a lot of things happening around. So
Yes.
both in a positive sense as well as some things are like really critical. So just wanted to like have a quick chat with you in this regard.
Sure.
All right. So I mean, I have like few points to discuss, like a few questions to ask, and just wanted to try to understand your perspective on that. So beginning with, we have been buying, the crude or the energy supplies from Russia, despite the sanctions from the United States of America. So what actually led to the situation?
So India is a very large country, and we have so much of activity going on, industrial activity and other things. So we are in dire need of energy from various sources, and predominantly it is the fossil fuel, and one of the main suppliers is Russia right now. Earlier, it used to be the Gulf and a few other countries. We even purchase something from Guyana, like Latin American countries, basically.
Okay.
We still have a small basket from US as well.
Okay.
So from far-flung areas, we get the crude, whichever is economical for us, including the transportation costs. We buy, so there's no restriction there. But what has changed is that the sanctions on Russian oil is not on the oil itself, but it's
Okay.
a price cap for India. So what happens here is, I mean, you get oil, you refine it, and then we get a lot of oil. We refine a lot beyond what we need as well. So, since Europe also can't buy, if they go to the Gulf, it is like way above 60 $70 a barrel. So, they are not going to afford that.
Okay.
So, what Europe is doing is, Europe is also coming to us saying, you buy from Russia, you have
Okay.
this sanction, exception. So, you buy from Russia, we can't buy it directly. So, you buy from Russia, you refine it, you send it back to us. So that is how Europe is getting fuel from India, right?
Okay.
So earlier it used to be from Saudi and all also. Right now that has gone down for various reasons. It price is one, and then the political equations are one, then the strategic interests are one.
Okay.
Okay, so we do buy from Gulf. I mean, UAE is our supplier as well. We buy a lot from Iraq, even today.
Okay.
So Kuwait also supplies us. So Saudi, and see, the we buy, but then the amount has come down. You're
The
getting my point.
overall share
The overall
of
share has come down.
Gulf basket is
Yeah,
drastically
yeah, yeah.
reduced. Okay.
So we have actually diversified. Now, I mean, over a period of time, I mean, this is one of the reasons why everyone is saying you buy from us, you buy from us.
Okay.
So US is also saying you buy from us, we'll give you oil because they have like they're also oil rich.
Okay.
So that's where this is coming from.
All right. What about the additional tariff that actually was imposed by the US after we started, or rather, like continue to kind of import more crude from Russia?
See, tariffs in itself is not going to affect India per se because the products that we supply to US, I mean, US is the only country that has imposed tariffs on us. So, I mean, let's stick to US only. So, this US tariffs is predominantly for products which are made in India, and it is of a certain, we don't supply everything like China.
Okay.
Okay, we supply very limited things and something which we are good at.
Okay.
So the quality of goods are pretty much okay, and it's not. I mean, say for example, rice. If you see that rice can't be replaced with another variant of rice from another country. So, for example, Indian rice can't be replaced with say US rice US also
Okay.
grows rice.
Okay.
The quality, the taste, everything is completely different. I'm not talking about basmati alone. We supply rice from, I think, Andhra, Telangana. Okay, Krishna, Godavari, that built
Basin.
rice.
Okay.
So that is again very popular in US.
Okay.
Certain products like that are like not replaceable, and our products mainly cater to, apart from software services, most of us supply goods that cater to predominantly the Indian population there.
Okay.
So, I mean, that's one way of looking at it. It's not that we don't supply to others. They
These are
also do
the
get, but predominantly the goods that are going to Indian consumers, or for that matter, even subcontinent people and Gulf people, they would love to have Indian products rather than something from US itself,
okay.
right? So that's one way of looking at it.
All right.
So it doesn't mean that tariffs are imposed so Indian economy is going to take a hit. No, it's not going to be that. Additional tariffs, yes, it is bad, but then business has its own way of doing things. And any which tariffs are not paid by Indian exporters. It is paid by the importers.
Okay.
So US importers, they pay the tariff. So it's not that okay, so 500% tariff. So that cost is borne by the consumer, not
So
by India.
basically, the export cost from India stays the same.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Moving on, another question I have is like how the OPEC plus countries, I'm not referring to the OPEC countries, but OPEC plus countries are coming up with some favorable energy deals with India in the recent past. So, what has led to this situation?
So what happened is over a period of past 2 3 years, okay, 4 years maybe, what has happened is since India started buying from Russia, and it is also supplying to Europe in good numbers. See, to supply to Europe and to India, to markets, approximately about 2 to 2.5 billion people. If that is a market that you are going to cater, earlier it used to be just India. Okay,
Okay.
1 billion people, 1.2 billion people. Now it is 1.4 billion India, and then another zero point 0.5 to zero point 0.6 billion from Europe. So this is the market that we are going to supply petrol, diesel, and other products to.
Okay.
Okay, and uh, I mean Europe has stopped buying now. Much of its oil coming from the Gulf and other countries, it has stopped buying. It has stopped buying from Russia. It has stopped buying from Gulf because, I mean, it's not affordable, so to speak,
Okay.
for them. And to keep their energy prices low, their power plants running, they are buying it from India. And so technically, what has happened is India is also a consumer, India is also a buyer, and India is a buyer for not just itself but also for Europe. So
Okay.
for about 2 billion people, 2.5 billion people, you are purchasing energy. Okay, and this is not a normal number. This is a very huge number, and pretty lucrative market as well. Like everyone wants to sell oil to India. Even Venezuela wants to sell oil to India, and there are like very many posts which are written on social media on how India earlier used to depend on Indian crude basket prices, but now it is deciding who will sell to India.
Okay.
So that leverage it has got, it has gained, and slowly it will only improve,
Okay.
right? So I mean, India also has the capacity to refine light crude and then anything in between till very heavy crude, like the Venezuelan crude,
Okay.
right? So it has that capacity to dynamically adjust to the type of crude it buys also. So
Okay.
it has refineries of all sets. So that ways, I mean, it is gaining popularity amongst people with lower cost. I mean, the popularity is mainly predominantly due to there's no other option available,
Okay.
right? So for $40 you buy Russian oil, and then for another 30, 35, $40, you buy Venezuelan oil, you get it, you refine it, you sell it to Europe, you get exchequer as well. So
Okay.
that's how it works.
All right. I actually have one more question, and this is regarding the Venezuelan part that you mentioned, right? So, there was this recent conversation between the newly appointed so-called head of state at Venezuela, and with that of the Indian Prime Minister. So, just wanted to understand like why there is a sudden, change wherein like Venezuela reached out to India first rather than to any other countries, because even the person who kind of uh, took the previous president or the head of state also tweeted or posted an audio message saying that we are ready to sell oil to India. I mean, we in the sense he was referring to Venezuela. So I just wanted to understand like what is happening there and what is the dynamics.
So what happened was there are only four countries which can refine Venezuelan crude.
Okay.
Okay, Canada, US, China, and India.
Okay.
Okay, because it's very heavy. I mean, it's almost like the wet sand in beach.
Okay.
Okay, it's that heavy.
Okay.
So when you take the crude, it is like very heavy, and you have to process it to filter the oil.
Okay.
Okay, first to get the crude, and then you refine it to get petrol, diesel, and whatever. Look at the dynamics, like why India in the first place, and I mean Canada. US has the control over oil in Venezuela right now, and they can't send it to Canada because of the political issue tiff between US and Canada,
Correct.
and he doesn't want to sell it to China either. Okay, so he says China can come in, but I doubt if he will even allow it. He as in President Trump. So the only options left are US and India.
Okay.
US, they won't. They are pretty much tied up with their own crude. Okay, that's one. And the second thing is they don't want to refine high sulfur, very heavy crude of the. I mean, like that of Venezuelan crude.
Okay.
Okay, because it has its own technology and other things. Now, the cost is another thing. Though they are very near, it's very difficult to manage the costs.
Okay.
Might be. Okay, so technically, US doesn't want. I mean, mota mota. Overall, US does not want Venezuelan crude, and the oil companies are also like, you can either refine it in Venezuela itself, or you can send it to some other country. That's their general opinion.
Okay.
So that is why it is coming to India, and if India says no, if some other issue wherein US or for that matter Venezuela also says we can't sell it to you, then they're gone. So it's a the very reason why Venezuela was invaded was for oil, and if India does not take that oil, okay, then it's a problem for them. Okay, it's a problem for not the Venezuela as a country, but the ecosystem around it.
Okay.
Okay, now coming to, so this is the background. Now coming to your question, why Venezuela approached India? Because they have no one else to sell to. Like I said, only four countries. US won't take it. Canada, they don't allow to sell it because Canada itself has its own capacity.
Correct.
Why would it refine someone else's oil? So they won't.
Okay.
And China, it's not available right now. Nobody knows what China will decide. Okay.
Okay.
Then the only option left is India. So you have to refine it, no, before you sell it. It's not like normal crude, wherein, like, say, from Iraq or Nigeria, you take the crude, Saudi crude, you take it and then you send it to one of your tens of refineries, and then you refine it and then send it across.
Okay.
It's not like that. It's a very heavy crude. It needs certain different processes.
Okay. Okay. All right. So moving on, like in the recent past, last 3 to 4 months, right? We have been hearing news about countries like Japan and recently, the European Union or the European Central Bank actually selling US dollar treasury bills. Actually, so why this unwinding is happening across the globe, and what will be the impact of the US dollar?
What is currently happening is US dollar survives majorly on USD being a reserve currency. Okay, so it might be very basic example, but I mean just to explain things and
Okay.
not to be considered as a actuals. Okay, I'm just giving you an example. So assume that you are buying a barrel of crude. Okay, at say what
$60.
assume $50.
Okay.
Okay, $50 a barrel crude. Now you're buying it from say Saudi. Okay, you buy it in USD and then you refine it, you sell it to Europe. Okay, so now in this entire chain, $50 will be with Saudi, and then the $50 will be or $60 will be to Europe. Okay, so in this entire thing, there is 110 USD that is exchanging
Transaction.
hands.
Okay.
Okay, this is over and beyond what India buys. Okay, India buys for itself. If India buying for itself, then the USD transaction is $50.
The second half doesn't happen.
Second half does not happen. Now, what is happening here is, ever since we started to purchase from Russia, we have shifted to pay in rupee or ruble.
Okay.
Initially, it was ruble. Now it has come to rupee.
Correct.
Now, what has happened here is we have also tested a platform wherein we can. This happened with UAE. Same thing. We are paying to UAE in national currency, or UAE is paying us, or exchange the swap happens,
Okay.
and some amount comes to India, and it happens in basically national currencies. USD is out of both. And again, going back to the your own previous question, India is the top, one of the top buyers, and the most populated country, populous country. So India needs energy. There's nobody else who will buy so much energy right now,
Correct. Okay.
right? And if such a country does not use US dollar, then there is a significant decline in the US dollar as well. Okay.
Okay.
Right now, one of the reasons that the dollar is weakening is also because a lot of the transactions are actually happening in non-USD transactions. Say, for example, India China. Earlier, it used to be 100% USD. Now it is not. India with say UAE and other countries where UPI is available,
Enabled.
there you are doing transactions in Indian rupee. Okay, so it happens like that. So even further, the deals that we are signing, say with Europe or any other country, there is also a foreign exchange component wherein it is like if we are doing trade with Europe, then we'll be paying euro in euros, or we'll take it in rupee,
Okay.
right? So now the same thing, like who's the top holder of USD right now? China, Japan.
Japan. Yeah.
Okay, and then comes Europe, right? So all these countries are slowly letting this go because they are seeing what is going to happen in the next few years. Like India is moving towards a non-dollar transactional currency, and combine it with BRICS, it's even worse. And dollar is not going to be
Anywhere in the same.
anywhere in the scenario.
Okay.
Now, all this aside, Europe is dumping, Japan is dumping. Europe is dumping because of political reasons also. Okay, and they don't want to be dependent on US for some reason.
Okay.
So that is also there. So overall, Europe and Japan are the primary people who are dumping the USD T bonds. Now there is one more country, China, which is also doing its part. India has also dumped in the last few months.
Yeah, I read a report from
Yeah,
the RBI as well. Yeah.
So India has also done that. So it's not that India is not doing it. India is also doing it. Partly it is also linked to the. This is my perspective, by the way. There is a perception that all these are linked to gold and silver. Say the gold is stagnating or rising. So they didn't expect gold or silver to rise so high.
Okay.
Okay, so they tried to diversify it, but it didn't happen. So that is where it is. Over a period of time, you will see more countries dumping the T-bills, not just these countries.
Okay. Okay. So, to our west, I think we have a really, big issue that's been cooking for a lot of time. Basically, I'm referring to Iran. So, US has been making a lot of noise that they're going to strike in 48 hours, 48 hours, 48 hours. Over the past 3 weeks or like close to a month, it's been. And there are both support and opposition from various quarters, from various unexpected partners as well. I mean, I just wanted to understand, on a very simple term, why US was able to take out the Venezuelan head of state, say, in a very swift mission, right, within their continent, but spreading across to the West Asia, right? What is preventing, or why is the US hesitant to do such an operation, to kind of do a similar regime change operation like what they attempted in Venezuela?
So when it comes to Iran, there are multiple factors, and one of the key factor is that no country in the world wants the oil supply route choked. This is the primary thing. The second thing is, fine, you have an opinion about, say, the regime there, whether elected, unelected, radical, non-radical, all that aside, fine, you're going to take them out. Agreed. Now, what is the alternative? The crown prince, who, does not have any locus or any popularity amongst the people. Apart from the few protests that we see, there is no other on ground support technically for the person. So, that guy coming as president to head the state as a monarch, I don't think Iranians are going to agree to that easily. And
Okay.
it could be someone else, or it could be a democratic path. But then, if you're taking a monarchy route, then there is a problem, and that is one of the reasons why it is not happening. The
Okay.
other two issues are that if you look at the map of Iran, if in the north west, there is a province called Tabriz, and until that Tabriz is destabilized, you will not get infantry support for any action on Iran. So when I say infantry support, it's not the conventional army infantry, but technically ISIS. ISIS is knocking on the doors of Kurdistan right now, and
Correct.
in the
Okay.
coming months, weeks, they will again go into the Tabriz province. They'll try to enter Tabriz province, right? So
Okay.
once that happens, then it's going to be a free fall for the Iranian regime as well. The happenings that are taking shape in Syria, it's actually to enter the northern Iraqi Kurdistan region, and there's heavy mobilization there.
Okay.
And once that happens, it is just they just need to get into Tabriz, right?
So
So
the
that is
the
all is needed. And then the slogans that is being shouted is also to reach Karbala in Iraq.
Okay.
So once they enter Erbil, they will go till Karbala.
Mm-hmm.
Karbala, because there is a Shia Sunni thing. They
Okay.
have been saying it for years. And once Karbala is destabilized, then it's a direct entry into the central part of Iran.
Okay.
So all these things aside, there's another thing also. Like, you remember when Nancy Pelosi landed in Taiwan
Oh.
a year or two back?
Yes.
So she was warned by Chinese, like, you can't enter now. Okay, if that plane comes, we'll shoot and all. Okay,
There was a lot of
but she still
noise.
went there. She still went there. And when she went, how she went was very interesting. She used Starlink in her aircraft to reach there. She was completely dark with GPS,
No
radars off,
navigation.
radars off. Used Starlink to connect. She went and reached Taiwan.
Oh, okay.
Now, why is this important? Because how Starlink worked there when there is a jamming happening is like, this is all open source. You can look up. Starlink hacked Baidu GPS system, and then it went and landed.
Okay.
And the Chinese were not able to find a fix
Okay.
for that. And what happened in Iran was like in the first week of January. What happened was students were protesting. All these people were using Starlink. Starlink was already smuggled inside, and Iranian regime didn't ban immediately. It ran for one day. The internet ran for one day, and then it stopped until the Russian aircrafts arrived. Chinese arrived. Then it stopped. If you notice, go and check the timeline. No, this is what happened.
Correct. Yeah,
Now
there were
Chinese brought
some
in.
cargo deliveries as well. Yeah, but where were like the Starlink units were actually brought in? Like from which region?
I'm not sure because it could have been brought from the top also, the Azerbaijan region also. Azerbaijan is any which ways anti-Iran.
Okay.
So they brought in, they distributed it, they distributed in several cities, and it was all working fine. I mean, their Iranian government was not able to find out where these guys are operating from. Suddenly, one day, the ground jammers got activated. Okay, so the internet was shut down. Initially, it was working, and then this is after the Chinese aircrafts arrived. Once
Okay.
they arrived, all these jammers were installed. For a few hours, it was all allowed. Then suddenly, internet was cut down.
Okay.
Okay. Then what happened was these guys started using Starlink.
Okay.
Okay. So in that time, once there is a ground jammer, these people are like
Exposed.
lighting a floodlight in absolute pitch dark area. So it is all like go and get them types, and that's
Okay.
what happened. And as of now, around 800 to 1,000 people are in custody only for this particular reason.
Oh, okay.
This is again open source. I don't have a verification. So how did Chinese do it? They had the Starlink system using Baidu.
Tit for tat for
Tit
what
for tat.
they did
They
with Taiwan.
waited and they
Okay.
did it. Okay. Now both are fighting. Now Starlink does not have a fix for Chinese.
Again, this system was actually
This
exposed.
system is exposed. So Starlink does not have a fix for this. So they are waiting. And without Starlink, if you send your say your people, your infantry, your say at some point you might even need Starlink on combat aircrafts. I don't know. Maybe that is one of the reasons. I'm not sure. So there are multitude of reasons why they didn't send troops to Iran as of now. Apart from all these reasons, there is also a peace negotiation that is happening between US and Iran, Israel and Iran through India. That is why our Secretary West, no, sorry, that's why our Deputy NSA was in Iran few days back. So a lot of things are moving, and over a period of time, we will understand how all these things come together.
Okay. So there was also like a recent chatter or information that was spreading that even Saudi is a bit hesitant, and there was also like reports of U.S. troops being vacated from various bases in the West Asian region.
So US troops is vacated for at least two reasons. One, when the oil gets hit, when Iran starts hitting back, it will not be limited to US. US is sitting like thousands of miles away. It's not going to be the US assets in the area. It
Okay.
is also going to be the countries, sovereign countries nearby which are hosting the US troops. And say, for example, if Iran decides, okay, I'm going to attack Qatar, the entire Doha will be lit. It just takes a few missiles to strike the key installations. That's it.
Okay.
So that is one of the reasons, and the other reason is that at least five countries are either economically not so good, or they don't want to get their economy into trouble, right? So you might have known like Saudi economy is in shambles. Qatar is also trying to find um, a better deal economically. Bahrain will be gone if the moment the missile strikes happen. So the other country is Kuwait. That is again a problem. Iraq. That is again a problem. So all these countries have asked US troops to leave. I think. I don't think anyone hosting US troops in that region except for say Middle East. UAE.
Okay.
Again, UAE has like very little troops, so it doesn't matter. It is inconsequential.
Great. I think yeah, this looks convincing actually. Yeah. So the next question I have, there are instances where like we see that the Brotherhood movement was like, it inaugurated with much fanfare, like having Qatar, Saudi, and Pakistan also joining the troop for reasons unknown, along with Turkey in the recent past, and I mean the political movement plus the financial aspect together, I just wanted to ask this question like, what will happen to countries like, like Bangladesh or Pakistan once the Brotherhood movement whistles out from the overall noise that's actually been created? Like, what happens after this?
So, to go there, one need to understand what happens during such calls.
Hmm.
Okay, so who is making the call? Some radical government will be making the call. Just look at the countries making it: Turkey,
Hmm.
Qatar, Saudi. Just imagine US is not around. How long you think these countries will survive?
Don't they have their own, security apparatus, or their wealth or their protection is basically through selling oil, right? So oil or gas or energy for that matter.
So the point is that how are they going to survive? So when I say survive, it means uh, political, moral support or whatever support that is. So I'll give you an example. There is no regime which is radical that can survive on its own till date, even including Bangladesh. You think Jamatis are going to have a fun, have a blast, or going to get elected? They are, even if they are elected, they can't survive without American support, and that's the reason why American ambassador is meeting at least once a week.
Okay.
The Jamaat radical leader.
Okay.
So it's more like nowhere a radical could survive without American or any civilized world support. So, for example, in Syria, this president used to be a ISIS killer. He still, he himself says that I'm still part of so and so group. If need be, I will take gun to defend or whatever.
Okay.
So, it's so every dictator in the past, including Musharraf or anyone, they've all been supported by US. Every one of these people, the dictators, had a stamp of approval from Americans. Exactly what is happening in Bangladesh right now. Exactly what will happen in Saudi in the coming days or months. When the leadership turmoil heats up, this will happen, right? So it's not just in this approval from US is not just with respect to our region, it is global. I mean, even in Japan, without you can't have an anti-US government full fledged,
Okay.
right? It will be democratic, but then if there are things which doesn't go, then they will go for a change,
Okay.
and they have done it in South Korea. Till date, there is no proper government,
Stable government.
stable government of sorts. So it will happen in Japan and other countries also. Even Taiwan might have the same problem, like once they attain independence.
Okay. And just for my understanding, like how Pakistan actually fits in all this chaos. Like, they don't have like a stable economy, like not even water or wheat for that matter. But like, how are they going to like sustain on the longer run?
So Pakistan thinks that it has struck gold with crypto. Okay,
Okay.
so I was listening to one of their podcast. I forgot their name. That guy actually says we should, since this is Trump-backed crypto, this WLF cryptocurrency project, and it's endorsed by Chinese as well. So we should make this crypto as a alternative for global transactions. Now, Chinese want yuan to be global reserve currency. Pakistanis want this crypto to be reserve currency. Which one is safe? I don't know. So, the point being that all these countries will ask for everything, but this crypto will be of any use or not, nobody is sure of where it is going to get used. What is the basic reason that you are creating a crypto? Are you going
Okay.
to try and destabilize Indian economy using this crypto for global transactions or something like that? So all these things have to be found out and actioned upon. But if someone is ready, they should. And coming back to the Brotherhood movement, see, all these radical regimes need each other's support to survive. Like, for example, Turkey is supporting a few countries, Saudi is supporting a few, Qatar is sending money to a few countries. So, all these things are important, and there is a um, Turkish organization, NGO called IHH.
Mm-hmm.
So, that goes and works in Bangladesh.
Oh,
That is
okay.
their version of
USA.
USAID.
Oh, okay.
It is that is a vehicle to do all sorts of nonsense in whatever region that Turkey wants them to be active. The point being, like all these countries,
Mm-hmm.
Qatar, Saudi Arabia, I mean Bahrain, all these countries are like dependent on US or Saudi.
Okay.
Okay, so at some point, what will happen is all these countries will also have to work with a few countries in Africa, right? So the Turkish project has expanded from the Mediterranean to Somalia.
Okay.
This is far on the other side of Suez.
Okay.
So what this means is Turkey is very much interested to reach out and expand its influence in Arabian Sea and
Okay.
by extension in Indian Ocean region. Turkey operates one of its its largest overseas base in Somalia, just outside Mogadishu.
Okay.
And talks are that they are going to convert that base into a missile base. Okay, imagine there is naval battle, India and some other country. Turkish missiles will also fire on us. So all these missiles which will be fired by Turks or even Somalis, then there is a problem. So we have to
We should
strike this
escalate.
missile base first. We should start treating this brotherhood as a threat. And Kenya has started that. Kenya is asking the right question. They are asking like, why would Somalia need 1,000 Air Force pilots? Nobody in Africa has that many aircraft.
Aircrafts. Yeah.
Forget aircrafts. Not even airmen are trained. I mean, pilots are trained. Thousands.
You mean the commercial ones?
For fighting
Okay.
the combat aircrafts.
Okay.
No country in Africa has that big troop. Why? Why now? Are they going to fly F-16s? Yes. F-16s given by Turkey to Somalia. Okay, done. Good. Now there's no war happening here. Why do you need 1,000 per year? That's a problem. Then, since there are other regions where you have F-16 aircrafts, but then nobody to fly.
Like Pakistan.
Pakistan is also one of the reasons, but I'm not sure they don't have pilots. I think they have enough stock.
Okay.
So yeah.
And one connected question. So there was this recent news reports on few European countries designating the Brotherhood movement as a terrorist organization or something. So why the sudden, I mean, reason to kind of go ahead and ban the organization altogether? I mean, like all along they have been
So
watching what is happening around, right? So
So there's this documentary of a British woman was seen crying to see that her locality is getting changed demographically. There
okay,
is a video about that. So what is currently happening is you put yourself in position of that particular person. Will you be able to survive that long?
definitely
No,
no.
right? So similarly, all these countries, European countries and other countries, want migration to happen, but not this type of migration. There is a severe short of workforce shortage across the globe, right?
Okay,
And these guys are being exported to those countries. Now, where does brotherhood come in here? They all are like fighting together beyond government.
in a sense,
The brotherhood itself means that it is beyond government.
okay,
There's no, I mean,
more like a transnational
yeah, it's
grouping.
not transnational. They all say that we are all one. I mean, like we are of one country. We are one group of people.
Okay,
Okay, so all these things are shaping up, and this will hit back. See, if one group can do this much, all others can do much better and much bigger. So that will come, that will happen.
To counter this.
Counter. The counter will always come.
Okay. But I mean, isn't it like too late to
It's
have
not.
this reaction in the first
It is
place?
not. It is not. See, don't go by the numbers blindly. Say, for example, OIC, the organization, has about 4 billion people or whatever, the number that they throw at you. Go and check. There are several Christian majority countries within OIC.
Okay.
And major Muslim countries like India, China, or for that matter, some group of countries like Eastern Europe countries, they are not part of OIC. So your number is wrong. It's not 4 billion, right? So don't go by the numbers. The ground reality is completely different,
Okay.
right? So over a period of time, we will also be seeing a few of these countries, the ones which we have been talking, Turkey and other countries. The setup of those countries is simply not sustainable. They will fall. Okay, when I say fall, it means politically, monetarily, or militarily. All three. Either one of this will go down. So if you look at Turkey, the grand total of its population is about 9 crores or 90 million. So with that, it has to run its own house and then have to send people to defend far-flung areas, far-flung countries like Somalia, Pakistan, maybe like it is stretching far beyond imagination. So with a population of 9 crore, I would not see even Maharashtra do that. Right, so that's where it is. So over a period of time, we will see some of these countries come to reality and say, okay, what you're doing is completely wrong. And that time, with all these actions of Turkey, Bangladesh, and Pakistan, that time is going to get faster towards us rather than going away from us. So that time is coming and pretty fast.
Okay. So, I mean, like, after the Op Sindoor, right, what will be the domestic impact of all these changes? Like, how it's all interconnected?
So, in this started sometime around August 2024, right? So, June, July, or Jan 2024 to be precise, when Bangladesh went for elections. And then the election results came, Sheikh Hasina was in power, and then within a few months she was ousted, right? And around August that year, we started buying oil in rupees. Now, why are we doing this? Because to send a message to US saying don't interfere much or will come after your dollar. I mean, in spite of tariffs, and also with other many other countries, it is happening on non-USD transaction, right? So literally what is happening is we are going after the dollar, and this process started much before, which is visible 2024. But I am very much aware that it started much earlier. Since there's no proof, I can't talk about it right now. Let it come in open source and then we can discuss. So overall, what is happening is one lead to the another.
Okay.
We stuck the petrol dollar. They hit back with something. Then within a few months, Pelgam happened to hit back. We went and hit back Pakistan. We hit something in Kairana Hills. Nobody has any idea on what was hit, but it is assumed, which is being openly discussed, that we hit some form of a nuclear device.
Okay.
Then we retaliated for that as well, which is the current phase of turmoil. At least till August 2025, there are issues which US and India should have spoken and sorted out, but then I don't think with the people around Trump, we've tried, we failed. That's all we can say right now. So what happened next was we were imposed with tariffs. Then the trade war. Then the trade war started around August. They were trying to control us, and it didn't happen. Now the trade war was in full swing, and it is all out in the open. And Trump got degenerated. And mind you, Pelgam happened within a few weeks of Trump assuming office.
Correct. Yeah.
So it's not something which can be ignored, right? Because right before Trump, US went to elections or something like that. Bangladesh was toppled. So they know what they are doing.
So it's not like whether it's a Democrat or a Republican government.
It
in the
never
US.
was actually, because a lot of events which happened, there was definitely an institutional continuity when it comes to these things, and one can, anyone observing can figure that out. We may not have institutional memory, but US has. Otherwise, I mean, like, they wouldn't come to Bangladesh after getting defeated in 1971. 1971, they were also
It's
some way
going to be part
defeated,
of.
right?
Yeah.
So they were also part of that defeat. So they had to either they had to come back, and they came back, right? So now, after all these things that have happened, the Kairana Hill that was hit, the Iran bombing that happened in June, it was just nothing. It was nothing compared to what was supposed to happen. And somewhere, Pahalgam was supposedly a project of sorts to keep us busy with terrorism and not do something bigger. But then we went and hit. We hit very hard. Bahalpur, Nur Khan, then a few other bases. So all these things point to one fact that, okay, we did something. We know what to hit in the first place, and we had guts to hit, though it belongs to US. So that is what it is. And till date, they are not able to attack Iran. This is what it is. So, and the other side is to, like, how oil business has actually trampled, right, our economy, assuming that our economy is hit. And then there was a comeback also. Then the tariffs aside, US leave US aside, we signed agreements after agreements with, say,
Britain.
UK, Europe, then New Zealand, Australia, and all those things. So those things mean that, okay, we are doing business with almost like 3 billion people. Out of 8 billion, we are doing business with 3 billion people, including India. And if you add Africa, major part of Africa trades with us as well, and it will only go up. And all these things add up to whatever you have achieved in the last so many years.
Okay. I also like wanted to understand, like, because of all this initial ask about the dollar, the T-bills that is being dumped in the world market, and the recent fluctuations in the gold, silver, and also like to an extent in copper as well. Like, are we heading to an era of physically, physical backed currency, basically like a gold or silver backed sovereign currency, or a sovereign trade on visual currencies, like something like that?
So, like I was saying, no, like you can't replace sovereign currency with something that is not manageable by the Reserve Bank. No Reserve Bank will let go of its authority. And the shocker was that, see, first of all, USD is more like a crypto right now. It could fall anytime, it could rise anytime. Nobody has any stability. Nobody has seen stability in that particular thing as of today.
Okay.
Slowly, other currencies will also learn from this huge mistake of USD and correct themselves. Like China did a lot of mistakes. Other countries are not doing it. Europe has done a mistake with green energy. Other countries will never would ever go near that particular argument anymore. So all these mistakes, once they're called out, other countries will set themselves correctly. So when you come to the T-bills, right? So if you understand correctly the earlier points, we will be seeing a lot of US dollar bills going back to the US. And at some point, the interest rates will also go up. And there's no, it's a trap, right? Nobody can solve this.
Okay.
And $35 trillion, nobody has the gut to consume it as well. And there'll be very few countries who would want to touch a dollar bill, maybe with a barge pole. It will come to that. And slowly we are heading there. And if you notice, even Trump knows that it can be sorted. Just, I think 2-3 days back, he was asked, like, what is your view on the dollar weakening? He said, dollar is doing great. There's no problem. So it does not mean that he does not know how dollar has fallen. He knows the reason why it has fallen. So he can't correct it. He does not have the capability to correct it. That is why he is saying it. So right now, US president is not bothered about US dollar, which is their currency.
Okay.
That is the nutshell. So, slowly you can extrapolate to other countries. Like, why would UK invest in USD when US dollar, US president itself is not
Sure about the future.
sure about the future?
Correct.
And he's already talking about crypto,
Gold backed crypto, basically.
gold backed crypto, gold. Then suddenly one day he talks about critical minerals. I want your minerals. I want your land. I want your water. So I mean, this eeks of unpredictability, and no market, no other government would want to invest in anything that is not stable.
Okay.
So at the end of the day, it'll all the US dollars, not all, but most of the US dollars will go back to US and bring down all other things, whole lot of things. The point here is nobody is talking about de-dollarization here. It is about weakening the dollar to basically come down to our size, and then you talk to us. You don't get the authority to stand in a high table and then dictate terms. You're not even referring to, you're not listening to what UN said, what others said, right? So, and for that matter, even the Chagos, it is rule of law. The the United Nations gave a verdict. Dispute resolution they gave a verdict, and you are just saying, no, no, I won't agree to it. What does that mean? You have to. It's binding. If that is not binding, then nothing is binding. We will also ask for Maldives tomorrow. Okay, so it does not work like that, no? They are sovereign countries, whether you like them or not. They're
Yeah.
sovereign countries, and unless and until people from within those countries want to join with you, you can't go and ask,
That's right.
right? So slowly people are getting to know how like India dealt with Trump is the best way, and over a period of time they will also start to follow. I mean, you talk whatever you want, we don't mind. You talk, just stand in the corner and talk. That's it. That is what is going to happen to President of the United States of America.
Great
They are
summary.
not going to be very happy about it, and forget happy. They are going to get very hurt because it's an insult, to be frank. And how they deal with it, that's something to be watched out for. Whether they go after the people who did it, or how does that work.
So again, like, is it a caution that more chaos is set to unfold?
More chaos where?
I mean, US has like quite literally the largest navy around, right? So I mean, any part of the world can be set on fire with those sort of power, as well as, I mean, both militarily and the other way around, as in like a regime change sort of a thing. So is that something that you are referring to?
So, what is expected is from an Indian context, we can say like situations have changed drastically. And in September 2025, their US Commerce Secretary was like setting preconditions, going on channels, TVs, media, and then saying you should do this, that. And he set four conditions. All these things are open source. The four conditions are abandon Russian oil, support America, support the dollar, stand by the dollar, not even support, stand by the dollar.
Okay.
This is like, mind you, September 2025. Walk away from BRICS. Okay.
Okay.
So
That's a big ask.
fast forward to Jan 2026. We are still buying Russian oil. We are supporting America. I'm not sure we are stand by the dollar.
We are not.
We are not. Walk away from BRICS. Definitely, it's not happening because we are in talks with BRICS to have their central bank digital currency integrated so that people can trade in their own national currencies amongst the BRIC countries. So I don't know where this is heading, but for some reason I feel that with respect to India, there will be internal chaos that will be triggered at some point because if this particular government stays in power, then US dollar is going to lose. So they have figured out there is a problem, but they don't have a solution to that. They don't have a fix. The only hard fix is to kick PM Modi out. Somewhere, some elements will be used to do that, try doing that. But I don't think there's any rallying point for that as of now. Maybe in the next few months. They tried with Epstein files, by the way. PM Modi danced, sang a song. Then they started to. There was a hit job on Hardeep Puri. Of everyone else, they had to do a hit job on Hardeep Puri.
Hey, it
He's
actually
one
became a
business
meme
also.
material
Yes.
after this reason.
No, not now. They did it a few months back. That I mean,
That his name was there in some
in
email or
Epstein
something.
files and all. Nobody knew that it was to market Make in India back then. Huh?
It was a
I
big,
actually posted sorry,
affair.
like Hardeep sir, sorry, because I know you are a Pink Floyd fan, but then sorry. So, anyways, I mean, like of everyone, I didn't expect Hardeep Puri to be in Epstein Island. So, I mean, it's okay. So, this is one of the hydrogen bomb that was talked about also.
Oh, wow.
So,
Okay.
so all these things point to some kind of an internal chaos within India that could happen because US is thoroughly missing out on a lot of things, and they missed in the 1970s by helping Pakistan, and they are missing now by helping Pakistan again. So they are doing a lot of nonsense in this region, US. So slowly they will be learning that okay, this is not good for us, right? So this is where it is heading when it comes to India. But globally, they will try to strangulate the supply chain of say the critical minerals as well as oil and petroleum,
Okay.
natural gas, right? So all these things are to be watched. Let's see how this goes and what role Europe will play. The transatlantic relationship is also like
Has hit a bottom.
as at a bottom. Now, where it will take off from there and where it will head to, is it going to head east or it is going to head south to Africa and other countries? That's something which we are not sure of. It's kind of hazy right now, but most likely it will head towards India and Russia,
All right.
maybe not China. And to create more trouble for India and even for the Europe, Russia region, Eurasia region, Tibet issue will be reactivated. And that's something which we need to keep a very close eye on because Tibetans might have support from Americans, but then they feel affinity towards India. And anything that happens with Tibet, with Americans, they can't go and land from space into Tibet. They need to cross through India. There's no other option.
Yeah.
So let's see how this goes. That's where it is.
All right. I think yeah, it was. I mean, like a really fruitful conversation. Like a lot of things we happen to kind of discuss on, and a lot of interesting perspective as well. So thanks a lot for joining me today, and yeah, have a great day.
Thank you.